Everybody, Dolphins from around the country, welcome to another edition. This is Phin-Addict Fury's channel, you know what I'm saying? But we rebranded this L Shake and the panel. That's what's going to be called from now on, L Shake and the panel. We are happy to have you back for another live show discussing Miami Dolphins football. A lot is going on right now. And we are excited to bring you news. And Shake, we're waiting on Shake to get on here. Actually, I was going to have Shake. We're going to have a little pre-production meeting, but it didn't really occur. But it is what it is. But we want to discuss the Miami Dolphins, man. That's why we're here. And we're going to continue to do this every at 7 o'clock for the time being. That's how we're going to do it. It's how we're going to keep it going. And I hope you all enjoy it. I hope you'll continue to join the panel when we do these things. I know it's not the season, so it's a little bit less people in here, given the fact that, you know, the season's not going on. But nonetheless, there's an off season and there's practices and there's things that we have seen in the news. Therefore, it's worth having some news and discussing with you guys and kicking it. So I'm glad to be here. And I know Shakes is glad to be here. And we're going to get our platform, you know, figured out the right way, the way it needs to be. And make sure that we're bringing you Dolphins news and continue to do that. But look, we discussed the Stephen Ross thing. We discussed the Flores thing. We discussed the Tua thing. It's been discussed ad nauseum at this point, right? So we're not going to delve into that anymore. What I want to talk about today primarily is, and hold on a second, I'm trying to get Shakes on here and get him situated. I'm sorry for the delay here we got. But look, we had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Miami Dolphins joint practice today, and I heard some stuff coming out of there. I heard some stuff coming out of that practice. And I want to talk about it. So what I heard from what I read today, the Miami Dolphins defense was dominating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the Miami Dolphins defense, if there were sacks, because there's no sacks in these joint practices, if there had been sacks, the Miami Dolphins defense was getting to Tom Brady of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they were sacking him. They were sacking him quite a bit. So Miami Dolphins defense is ahead of schedule. And in fact, if I read this article correctly, what it specifically said was there was a lot of controversy. There was a lot of controversy as to whether or not Brian Flores had taken control of the defense, and that was the reason that the defense showed out the way it had at the second half of the season, or whether Josh Boyer was actually handling the defense quite well and doing what he had to do, and whether he was responsible for the defense doing as good as it did last year. And Bleezy, what up? ABS champs, what up, man? We doing good out here today. I want to thank everybody who came on last week, too, by the way. You know, Master at work and Shake and everybody was out here, man, and it was good stuff, and it was great, man. I'm happy everybody came out last time. It was just dope. It was dope. But at the end of the day, man, you know, I'm just out here trying to do Miami Dolphins. K, what's up? Fin Nation TV is in the building. We all in the building. I'm about to post a link, to be honest with you, right now. Boom. Hop on, man. It's L Shake in the panel. I'm waiting on Shake. I don't know what's going on with Shake. We've got some technical difficulties, but L Shake in the panel, man. We're going to do this every Wednesday at 7. We're talking Dolphins football. I'm waiting for the numbers to tick up. The numbers will tick up as the season progresses. It's still August. It's the dog days of summer. Let me tell you guys something. You know where that phrase comes from? The dog days of summer? That phrase comes from an old Roman thing where the Romans would look at a certain star, and the star looked like a dog. Believe it or not, looked like a dog. And when the dog was right in front of the sun, that dog star was right in front of the sun, it was late July, early August, and it was hot as hell. And so they called it the dog days of summer. And that's why we're in the dog days of summer. And right now, when you're in the dog days of summer, you don't have as much people tuning into the show and whatever else. But nonetheless, as the season progresses, we're going to get more. I'm going to ask you right now to smash that like button. I'm going to ask you right now to smash that subscribe button, bro. We were above 1,000. When I was doing the TD show, we were above 1,000. And me and TD are still tight. TD offered to come on and launch the first show, but I wanted Shake and I to just handle it at first. But I'm going to get TD on here, too. Master came through. So, people are paying attention, even if they're not always on and participating. But like I was saying, we are getting toward that point where the season's going to jump off, and this Wednesday night show is going to be a thing. L shaking the panel, man. Get ready for it. But look, it's Shake already drinking. It's all mine, bro. We had to do it on a Wednesday, man. We out here talking Dolphins football. And I was just telling them, thank you for coming on last week. And I was telling them to smash the subscribe button. Get us over 1,000 so we can start getting these bells and whistles that we've been trying to get. Get us over 1,000. Smash the subscribe button. Share the stream. Share the post. Hop on the panel with us. Do what you got to do. But, Shake, I was saying before you got on, man, I was waiting for you. I was talking about, and I was also telling them, Shake, that we're going to start doing pre-production meetings. We missed it today. It was my bad because I was running around. But you still came through with the Ronnie Brown jersey. You still out here kicking it, so we still good. But what I was talking about, Shake, was the report I read today about this joint Tampa Bay Miami Dolphins practice. I read that the Miami Dolphins defense had gotten to Tom Brady quite a bit today, and had they been allowed to sack, they would have taken Brady out, bro. That's what I heard. What'd you hear, bro?
I hear the same thing, but one thing you got to realize, too, is that he didn't have his two main weapons either. He didn't have.
Okay.
So
good point. Good point.
But you know what? I always bring pop culture references to the table.
I know you do. I love it.
I remember a few years back, there was this thing where you hear this clip. Some people hear Laurel, some people hear Yanni, right?
Yo, I know that. I remember that. Yeah.
And I think that's how it is, man. Because to be honest with you, you got a million people. You got the Tampa beat writers, whether it be YouTubers. They're looking at the same thing, but they're telling me something different. They're seeing something different. Some reporters are saying Laurel, some reporters are saying Yanni. So it's kind of hard, to be honest with you, with all these mixed information to really gauge. I was watching Stephen D's show. Shout out to him, the Miami Sports. And he was talking. He was reading conflicting reports from the Tampa and the Miami beat writers.
So what was Tampa saying? What were their beat writers saying?
They were saying about, I don't remember specifically, but let's I'm just gonna give you a reference.
Yeah.
Let's say Noah got burnt, whatever. They were they'll say, well, Noah got burnt, and the Miami beat writers, well, he got pushed. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Where we're making it like trying to boost their teams up.
And you're going to boost your team because the fan base is tuned in because, again, it's the dog days of summer. It's August. You want to get your fans engaged. You want to get them hyped. So you're going to spin it the way you spin it. But I was talking about – and look, Noah getting burned, Shake.
Yeah.
Man, I want to know this. I want to know this from you right now because as the season unfolds, I want you and I to be able to discuss this and see where our respective positions are, bro. I think Noah I know he was young. I know he had talent, but – I'm skeptical of Noah ever really catching on, bro. Corner, I know corner is some technique, but like to me, and people could tell me differently. I only played high school ball. I don't know all that much. But like at the end of the day, wide out, you got to learn route running. You got to perfect route running. You got to learn spacing. You got to learn to find the hole and like get comfortable in a zone. Quarterback, same kind of thing. I'm not saying corners don't have to learn things schematically, but I think at some point being able to just sit there and shuffle your feet and be quick enough to cover a dude and stay on him defensively, kind of like in other sports like basketball, not every defensive position in football is like basketball, but I think corner is sometimes. You're covering a cat. You can either, compensate for his shiftiness and quickness and his knowledge of the game, or you can't. I just don't think Noah might have it, bro. I think Noah, I'm not surprised here and he might have got burned. I think Noah, I kind of the ship sailed with him a year ago for me, and I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything, but I'm just wondering, what are your thoughts, Shake?
I was a big Noah guy, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Logo over people name, right? Name in the front versus name in the back. But because like you were saying, defensive back is more of a it's not really about learning how to read and react. You can't teach read and react. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you have to react to the receiver.
It's natural. So I don't know about Noah, but Shake, this is what I was going to get into, and Greg's on here, so I'm going to bring him on the stream. So first panel member, Greg. And Greg, he's been with us too since the TD days. Man, when I was on TD, you two guys were always hopping on. So that's why I reached out to you guys. Like, yo, I'm gonna start something on my channel. Hope you could join us. By
the way, did he get the link from Instagram?
I think I put it on the chat. Is that where you got it, Shake?
No, I got it from the chat because the one you were sending on Instagram wouldn't let you turn on the camera and the mute the mic. So I see his camera and his mic is off. That's why I'm asking.
Interesting. No, he's good. That's what.
Okay.
We're gonna have to figure it. But listen, this goes for both of you, but you first, Shake. So I was talking about the reports I heard out of the joint practice today with Tampa and Miami. And I was saying that, we had discussed this too, and I had discussed it quite a bit on my channel, which was, was Brian Flores mostly responsible for the defense turning the corner last year and kind of guiding us to our late season success despite Josh Boyer? Or was Josh Boyer more responsible for leading the defense the way it did? And what was intriguing to me was, I know it's one practice. I know the beat writers are going to spin it the way they're going to spin it, but from the reports that I read, from what I could see, it seemed like they were saying that Boyer was leading the defense quite aggressively today, and that the defense looked like it had its similar aggressive form from last year. And perhaps Boyer, whether it was him last year or not, does know how to turn that defense up and make that defensive aggressive. And even without Flores, Boyer can turn up the heat, and we may see this blitzing, pressure-oriented, tough defense still take root this year. What have you heard, Shake? What's your thoughts on that? The practice today seemed encouraging about Boyer, but I don't know.
Well, like I said before, here's how I look at it. Josh Boyer, in my opinion, is the Mike McDaniel to Kyle Shanahan. He helped design that defense. He helped architect that defense. So I would say the only difference, in my opinion, and they both learned firsthand. They were both Belichick disciples. They learned firsthand. They came up in that system together. They got promoted together. You know what I mean? So he was a DB's coach, and he was a cornerback coach for the Dolphins when we first in 2019. Excuse me, and then he was a DB's coach his last job at New England. I do my research on these guys. So here's the thing: they both got first-hand knowledge of Bill Belichick, just like McDaniel and Shanahan got first-hand knowledge off of Mike McDaniels, the father. Right. So at the end of the day, Mike McDaniels and Shanahan constructed an offense, and of course, Shanahan was the driving force of that offense. Right. Just like McDaniels and Brian Flores, they constructed a defense, and of course, Brian Flores was the driving force of that defense. Right. So I don't think that there's going to be that much of a far off, because remember, he's the architect. He is a defensive mind. The only thing I would say is the difference between them is I don't think that Josh Boyer could command a room like Brian Flores can. He doesn't have that. You know what I mean?
Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that. I don't think he can. Now, look, I just want to draw, so we're going to see how far Boyer takes us, right? Because we're going to see this year. It's his defense. McDaniel is an offensive-minded coach, so we're going to see. We're going to see pretty quickly, especially when teams start to adjust offensively to our defense. We're going to see. We're going to see how far Josh Boyer can take us. But I want to address some of the stuff in the chat right now. You got Zach Santola. What's up, my brother? You got Scott. You got Troy. Good. What I'm hearing is that from Scott, I'm hearing maybe Noah could be a safety because he's caught peeking into the backfield. He could get away with it at Auburn, but not the NFL. I got Troy Ortiz saying 3 busts in 2020 first round. Greer should have been fired along with Flores. We'll all see the season when Tua continues to look mediocre that he's not the guy. And then Scott agrees with him, and then Bentley says Flores was trash. So I don't want to get into all of that. I do want to open it up to Greg and Shake. What do you think about the fact that, look, I think Greer has hit on some dudes that I really like in the mid rounds. There's all this talk that that first draft where we had those, what was it, 3 first-round picks? That is not looking great. I mean, what's your opinion on that? What are your opinion on, I'm not talking about the extrinsic stuff like the Flores, like the drama behind the scenes. I'm talking about, like, as a GM, on the field, with draft picks and trades. Not the fact that Ross lost us the draft pick because he's being silly. I'm talking about, like, what is your opinion on those comments about Greer? Scott Jackson, I mean, he's going at him. He's saying Greer destroyed the rebuild in the first round of 2020. He's saying the rebuild was destroyed first round. What's your opinions? Sound off here. Let me know. Let Scott know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What's up?
I mean, I'm going to kind of disagree with that. Look at the picks we made. We got Robert Hunt in the second round, beast. Got Raekwon Davis also in the second round, beast. I forget who we drafted in the third round of the 2020 draft.
Jones was in that draft too?
Oh, yeah, Jones was in that draft. Yeah, I forgot about him.
That's a pretty good draft.
Yeah, and then I don't remember the other picks outside of that off the top of my head. But then you look at the following year, we got Javon Holland. I didn't think Javon Holland was really going to be good, and then he's proving me wrong. And I like what I'm seeing for Holland. And then I don't have the picks off the top of my dome right now, but he's made some solid picks. But the 2020 draft, this is the year that it's going to prove itself. These 3 guys are going to have to prove it. So if these 3 can nail the season down, Greer might have, turned this rebuild around.
Good point, Greg. And at the end of the day, I can't remember every single pick off the dome, too. I mean, that's like a Dudley do wrong type thing. The dude just has, like, everything, like, stats just lined up, ready to go. I got to get more on that level, but I'm more of, like, a talker, off-the-cuff kind of guy. But you make good points. And, Shake, what do you think of that? I mean, he made good points. See, there were some picks there that are franchise rebuilding players that are excellent pieces just because – and, by the way – I know this is a dead horse that we beat on every show, and every Dolphins content creator talks about it, and it's always a topic of conversation, but the jury's still out on Tua. Like, we can't just call him a bust. You know what I'm saying? I know, like, you know what I mean? Like, I know it was a second year, but, like, second year, if he's not a bust, and he is good, then you add all those other players from the first draft, and a guy like Hunt, you don't think of the first year because you're like shaky on him, but now the dude is a beast. He's a solid piece, and a solid piece is what you're going for. Not every first round pick, not everybody who's a high draft pick is going to be a superstar, but they have to be building blocks. And it does seem, based on what Greg said, he got us some building blocks. But what's your take?
You know what's funny is the steal of the draft was number 15 for us. I'm talking about our outside linebacker that we got from the University of Miami.
Phillips is a beast, bro. I will be on that train all day, every day, twice on Sunday, and then again on Sunday when I come live on the podcast to talk Dolphins. Phillips is my dude, bro. I'm telling you, he's putting up numbers like, I'm not saying he's JT because JT's a legend. I hate when people put rookies in the same thing with legends, but his numbers in his first year were looking like even better than JT. I'm not saying he's going to sustain, but I like that kid, bro. His athleticism and his sheer, he's one of those rushers. And we got Wake a couple years late. We got him on time. That was just my little thing on Phillips because I love Phillips. But proceed, sir.
No, but hey, to be fair, Jason Taylor wasn't Jason Taylor his first few years. So
fair, bro. Fair.
But no, the reason I say he's still a draft because he could have easily been a top 10 pick had he didn't had those concussion issues.
True. Yo, I was worried about the injuries, but last year he got through good. I remember even when we picked him, I was reading about him, I was watching the highlights, I was thinking about it, and I was like, yo, as long as he doesn't have these injury problems, and like you never know with injuries, right? Some guys seem to be injury prone. And I said seem to be, because you don't even really know if they are, but they just constantly get injured and then they're out of the league. Sometimes it's just freak accidents, bro. Like, you can't control freak accidents, even if it happens to you twice. And then the dude could go on a streak and be totally healthy. And I always said, like, if this kid Phillips remains healthy, he's going to be a beast. And, bro, so far, he was a beast. Like, I'm looking for him this year to take that step, especially with the rest of the line being as stout as it is, especially with our secondary still being good. I'm looking for Phillip. Yeah.
Real quick, can you pin the link on the comment section? That way,
I'm about to put it again.
Come on, they can know where to find it.
Let me
a lot of people joined in.
Let me see. We try to pin it. I'm trying to pin it, but it's in there. It's in there.
Okay. Yeah, it's
you guys see it?
people.
Yeah, you guys see it? It's right there. So click it. You want to come on the panel, man? Come on the panel. I'm still see the StreamYard. I'm still working around, right? Because I learned about StreamYard from TD because I was always jumping on his streams, and I had these other programs that I was using for these other podcasts, and I was like, nah, StreamYard is the way to go. So I'm just still working around. It's only my second StreamYard live cast. The first one was the first show, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Technologically, we're getting there, and that's why we got to do the meeting shake, and that was my bad today. But so what we're talking about. I want Phillips this year to be the guy who, at the end of a game, the way JT used to, the way Wick used to, when you need a pressure, when you need to take down a quarterback on 3rd down and 6 with the game on the line, I'm waiting for Phillips to be the guy that gets that key sack, brings the guy down at a key moment, and seals the game for us. That's the next step I'm looking for. I think he has it in him. He's a playmaker, just like X is a playmaker. Like, you got guys who are solid in defensive coverage and solid with their assignments. You got those guys, Byron Jones, guys like that. But then you got playmakers. You got guys who break the game wide open. And I'm looking for Phillips to be that dude with the pressures. You combine a guy like that with a guy like X, with a guy like Holland, these other guys we have, and all of a sudden you got a... We had it last year, but you have a fiery, playmaking, difference-making defense that really changes things. And I love Phillips. Anyway, I didn't mean to go off on that whole tangent about Phillips, bro, but I had to just interject because I love that kid. I'm excited about that kid.
You should be, man. I think he's going to be an anchor for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And let me ask, now that we're talking, can we talk about the prospects? Everybody, yesterday there was a big uproar in the Dolphins' faces when Roquan Smith demanded a trade. There's a big segment of the Dolphin fans that would like to have him as the middle linebacker. They said if they add him as middle linebacker, it would make our defense a number one defense overnight. I mean, push us into that number one spot if we have Roquan Davis as middle linebacker. What do you think?
I think middle linebacker, if you had to find a position on the field that wasn't necessarily game-changing per se, or that you had any thoughts about or doubts about, it might be middle linebacker. We've had a run stuffer here and there, but have we had a game changer? I mean, I think it'd be but what are we giving up? Because you say it's a number one defense, but what if we give up another piece, then we don't? So, I mean, yeah, in a hypothetical, we that's a position we could use to bolster up. I'm not against it. I want to know what we're giving up, especially since we lost that first rounder, which sucks. But what were your thoughts? I mean, I think I agree with the statement. I just wonder what we would give up.
Me personally, I would give up our third, because we still have New England's third. Our third and Mike Gesicki.
You would give up Gesicki?
Yeah, because if we get him next year, we're not going to pay Christian Wilkins and him, so he's got to go bye-bye.
So you think Gesicki's gone no matter what, because we're not going to pay Wilkins and him, and they're both coming up.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because at the end of the day, look, this is how I feel about Gesicki. He's a good route runner for a tight end, but for a wide receiver, he's a horrible route runner. And if you're going to have him in the slot, he's not a good slot receiver. Well, that's why we got Cedric Wilson. That's why we got Izukama for those roles. He's when they use tight ends, they use them in the tight end role. They don't make them glorified slot receivers in this offense.
So that's true, maybe for this offense. But isn't there something to be said, like in football in general, that sometimes people look too much at like measurables and like the the X's and O's, like adherence to fundamentals, and some dudes are just playmakers. Like, isn't Gesicki, even though he doesn't really fit necessarily as a traditional tight end and doesn't fit as a wide out and doesn't run great route, isn't he still just a playmaker, bro? Doesn't he just make plays? And what is that worth?
Well, here's what I like. This is one of the analogies I like to use. All right, you could buy a $1,000 Apple charger, wall charger.
Right.
It'll charge your battery up like this. But if you got an Android, that $1,000 charger ain't worth nothing.
True.
So the way I look at Gesicki, I think he would thrive on a team like Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. I think him and Aaron Rodgers would be peas in a pod. Someone like Jameis Winston, someone that's a gunslinger that throws those contested passes. Tua isn't one of those type of quarterbacks to throw contested passes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So because of the quarterback we have, Gesicki is not as valuable because you're running set routes with set plays for set amounts of yardage, schematically sound, and therefore a guy like Gesicki, even if he's nice to have, he's a luxury. Once he's in a contract year and we got to pay him a bunch, he's not worth it because our offense and we don't improvise. We got Tua, and Tua's just going to throw it where it belongs, and we're not going to improvise. So a guy like Gesicki is less valuable. I would say this. I'm positive I agree with you that Wilkins is more valuable than Gesicki. Whether or not Gesicki is valuable at all, whether we can hold him, I don't know. I do think them not bothering to extend, not really having a lot of conversations, even back to last year, and then just kind of locking him up with the franchise tag and not really trying to expand on that. It seems like that's where we're headed anyway. Like, he probably won't be a Dolphin career-wise, and that it's just I love the dude. But I see. Greg, what's your thoughts on what Shake said, regarding the type of offense and everything? What's your overall thoughts on Gesicki, man?
I think Gesicki's going at the end of this year.
You just think that's just a fact of life, or are you happy about it? Are you disappointed, or what's your thoughts?
I mean, depending on how the offense works, if it's run heavy, which is rumor, or it's like Shake said, Tua throwing these short route runners or throwing the short routes. And Gesicki can only make the contested type catches, which is great. I love seeing that. But if Tua's not going to throw him the ball, then why have him around? Why give him the money and lose a valuable piece in Christian Wilkins?
I mean, look, if it's between him and Wilkins, we keep Wilkins, bro. Like, that's not even a debate to me. Like, yeah, I think we all agree with that. I'm wondering if anybody in the chat disagrees. They all agree, I think.
Yeah. I mean, if you lose one thing, you lose Gesicki instead of Wilkins.
So I just want to address this question. I wanted to go a different segue, and we're going to go into a different segue, but B Free's in the chat. B Free's in here showing us love, so he's commenting. So I just want to answer this question, even though this question has been beaten like a dead horse that's been killed, made into glue, manufactured into another fake horse, made out of the glue, and then beaten again. But I want to just talk about it anyway. He says, do you see the question, Jake? It says, do you think Justin Herbert would have the same success in Miami throwing behind the worst O-line in the league? And would Tua have more success in L.A. behind a good O-line throwing to Eckler, Williams, and Allen? I'm going to tell you right now, the answer is Tua would have done better behind a better O-line, and Herbert would not have done as well behind a worse O-line. It's common sense. I'll tell you this. I don't want to go down this route where we constantly compare Herbert and Tua at this stage anymore until we have another season.
But
we could compare them for the rest of our lives once their careers are over. But right now, let's just let the season play out because it's not like Herbert. I'm not knocking Herbert. I think the kid's awesome. In hindsight, you know my opinion. I've said my opinion. I really like the kid. But he hasn't won the Super Bowl yet. He ain't Burrow. So I don't want to talk about this ad nauseum until they have some more of a repertoire and a resume under their belt. I'm not ready to say Herbert way up here, Tua way down here. Man, let's see him play. Let's see him play a little more.
I have one little caveat to add to that, though.
Yeah,
the only reason I think they both were rookies. I think the only reason Justin Herbert would have had more success than Tua their rookie years is because Chan Gailey's offense was kind of geared more towards a quarterback like Justin Herbert than Tua Tagovailoa.
undeniably true. I don't think it excuses Tua, but undeniably true. He was coaching Fitz. He wasn't built for a Tua quarterback. He didn't want him. It affected it. Greg, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, if Justin Herbert came here in that 2020 draft, we had Herbert. I think Herbert does the same thing he's doing in LA, because in Herbert's first year, the LA offensive line was probably the same as ours, if not worse. We did have lesser weapons than what they had in LA, but with Herbert under Fitzpatrick, maybe Herbert could learn something. And if Tua went to LA, for example, I think they would both be ending up pretty good. Tua may have struggled out in LA because he would be coming off that hurt hip, playing instead of Tyrod Taylor because he got that thing and whatnot. But I think they would have been good if Herbert was in Miami or Tua is in LA. I think they would have both been fine.
What do you think about the second year, Greg? Do you think is it still
year.
the same? No, both. I like your answer on the first year. I think he meant both years. So that's a valid answer. I dig it. I'm just saying, does it change for you looking at the second? Just an honest question.
Where Herbert, what he's doing in LA, if he was in Miami, I think he would be having the same success. I think Tua might have struggled in year 2, and then year 3, I think he would be improving. But
right.
I mean, it's tough to tell because there's 2 different teams. I don't follow the Chargers, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know how good Tua would be. But I'm saying, like, if Herbert was here year 2 in our rebuild, I think we would have made the playoffs this year if we had Herbert. But again, we don't know. But
and I would say this, I agree only because looking at the Titans game and some other games, like I told you, and I don't want to go down this road, but I just want to be real before I put it to bed, because I'm putting it to bed. I want Tua to get a chance. We don't know who they're going to be. I don't want to do this comparison. I will say, like, in the last 2 years we have as a sample, I will say, like, even in some of our victories, I thought there was struggle from the quarterback play. And be that, you know, Tua or Brissett, there was just struggles from the quarterback. I do think Herbert is a little more rawly, naturally talented. He might have catapulted us to that one more win that might have got us into the playoffs. So I'll say that. But I will say, like I was saying, I don't want to continue doing this ad nauseum because it's just too early. Like, you have to wait and see. Like, and it's funny because even like, and I don't want to get too historical, but even like Marino Elway comparisons. Now, if you had compared them in '85, and look, Marino's still, I'm a Dolphins fan, and this is Danny Marino. Marino's still better than Elway. Screw Elway. But I'm just saying, like, if you had compared like what you thought their successes would be in 1985, you would have easily said, like, Dan Marino is going to win multiple Super Bowls because he already went to one his rookie year. John Elway's good. John Elway's a great player, but Marino is like, you had him at the number one thing. And then you had to wait till Elway was like on his last leg, literally like gimping and limping and spinning over the end line. And it wasn't all Elway. I mean, it was Terrell Davis. It was the defense. It was Shanahan. But I'm just saying, you wouldn't have guessed that the Broncos would have 2 rings and Marino would have none. So I'm not saying that's the same analogy because skill is different. But I'm saying, like, you can't predict that yet. And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole of always talking about Herbert or Tua before it's been settled. Let the guys play. Let's see what they do this year.
Yeah.
I have another one, too, that's a little more recently. If you was to remember, Philip Rivers is statistically puts up good numbers, and he's a great quarterback, but he was drafted with Ben Roethlisberger, 2 championships, and Eli. 2 championships. So,
True.
you know what I mean? Eli, come on. Eli, I think, as far as a pure quarterback, I think Philip Rivers is more talented than Eli, but I'd rather have Eli's career, the 2 rings, than...
Hell yeah, bro. And you'd rather have a Giants fans Eli's career than a Chargers fans. They're not even in San Diego anymore. I mean, yeah, I'd rather be a Giants fan than a Chargers fan. But and Be Free, by the way, just to do a recap, I mean, pretty much agrees, saying no way Herbert's putting up 5,000 yards last year with the Fins roster. But I don't think Tua could have either with the Chargers. Herbert has attributes that Tua doesn't, but time will tell. That's a fair answer. But I want to segue into this. I wanted to talk about, speaking of trades, speaking of receivers, speaking of our personnel issues, what have you guys heard and what is your opinion on the Preston Williams stuff? First, there were the tweets, right? There were the tweets that Preston's saying, I just want an opportunity, and that hit the media, and that was out there, and then there was, like, clarification, like, well, I'm just saying I deserve an opportunity, I'd like an opportunity, blah, blah, blah. Then there were these like fake tweets, of course, like which I don't know about you guys. Some people think it's funny. I hate the fake Twitter accounts and the fake tweets. Like I don't find them amusing because they're just stupid. It's not like it's really humorous. It's always like some just absurd batshit like thing like breaking Miami Dolphins trade 3 and then everybody's like ha ha ha. I'm like, no, it's not funny. It's stupid. You tagged the Miami Dolphins. Therefore, I looked at it. I took a breath for a second because I thought it might be true. It wasn't true. You wasted my time. Some clown is on Facebook retweeting it already, and everybody's believing it. I'm not a fan of them. So, but number one, what's your thoughts on the Preston Williams thing? And like, do you think he could hang on? The kid, I'll say this. The kid was promising his rookie year, but I think like a lot of rookies and young players, they get a lot of hype in preseason. Like if you see these dudes show out in preseason, they make some kind of acrobatic catch and look, we're starving football fans. So preseason comes, I don't care if it's the fourth quarter and it's all fourth stringers. We're still watching, hanging on every breath, hanging on every player. And like if the dude makes a good play, even if it's against like the fourth string guys of the other team, you put effort into it. You get excited about it, and you focus on it, right? So Preston, I think, had a great preseason that first year, and then you could still tell early in the season that he didn't have the best hands. That being said, he did show out. He showed out in regular season games a couple years, but he was injury prone, and I still saw some plays that were questionable his first couple years. Now the kid, he's still talented, but he's older. He's coming off multiple injuries, and we got a pretty stacked roster of wide receivers at this point. What is your thoughts on him? Do we hold on to him? Do we move him? Do we cut him? Is he around one more year? What's the deal with him? And second, I just want to hear your opinion on these Twitter guys who put out fake Twitter news. And what's your opinion? Are you pro fake Twitter news? It's haha funny. Or are you anti-fake Twitter news? Get something new. It's old material. It's boring. I don't want to hear it. Guys, sound off.
I'm anti-fake fake tweets.
Yeah, right. Thank you, Greg.
Every
Thank
time
you.
I'm on either Instagram or Twitter and I see it, I'm like, it gives me a heart attack, and it's like
For no reason.
Like 5 minutes after I find it funny, but then it's like you're giving me a heart attack here.
Right. What's the point?
Yes.
All right. What about Preston? What about Preston? Shake. Well, what's your thought on the Twitter thing, Shake?
Yeah, I take it with a grain of salt.
So Shake always so balanced. Like me and Greg are over here, like I look at it, I pull my hair out, then I laugh. Shake's like everything I see on Twitter, I take with a grain. I don't know what
Listen,
you guys are.
I'm from Florida. I'm used to dealing with a bunch of dumbasses. So.
True. Florida man. Search on Google. Florida man. You ever done that? Even though you're in Florida, it's like Florida man. What was it like? Florida man and your birthday or something? Or Florida...
yeah. You find a good story.
Florida's great, man. But anyway, what's your guys' thoughts on Preston, man?
Well, like I said about the same thing I said about Gesicki. Not a scheme fit. And at the same time, the one thing I hated about him is he was this year. I was watching the shout out to the Finn's tailgate. They brought up a news story. Dude, he was doing runway shoots. I'm like, you're more concerned about your clothing brand and doing runway shoots than the practice field.
Right. And you know what? I get it when you're a veteran. I get it when you're a veteran and you're already a beast and you've already put in that work and now it's time to capitalize, like, and do runway shoots for a clothing brand. But when you're an up-and-comer still and you're fighting for a roster spot and you have had injuries the last couple of years and you very much not only have to prove yourself to Miami but have to prove yourself to other teams that may or may not want you, I got to agree there. I don't know that that's a good way to be. And it almost seems like, based on that story, Shake, that he's almost wants the opportunity because he already has like this image and, you know, notoriety carved out for himself to go into these other endeavors. And if he doesn't get that notoriety on the field, he's going to lose out. And maybe he's putting the carriage before the horse a little bit, you know, on this whole thing. I could see it. I
remember Jay Ajayi after his big year in 2016, whatever. He was already talking about his clothing line. I'm like, wow,
I remember
you just
that.
had one good season. Instead of, worrying about the next contract, you're talking about your clothing line, which I have no issue with players venturing, but you can't, like you said, put the cart before the horse.
And one thing I'll say though about Ajayi was, bro, that was a crazy ass season. I mean, he he showed out. And then one thing I hate about Adam Gase, bro, and goes to scheme. One thing, and I said this about McDaniel that I liked about him, he didn't seem married to his scheme over, it's one thing to like your scheme and to try to acquire players that fit your scheme, but he seemed like he would still adapt his scheme based on the roster he inherited. Gase, was a prime example to me with Ajayi of, you don't care how good of a player you might have with a given scheme. You are so married to your scheme that you will, destroy that player. Wasn't it... What didn't I read? And I'm pretty sure that they were operating with an inside zone blocking scheme under Gase, and then when he finally acquiesced and did an outside zone blocking scheme that better fit Ajayi's skill set, Ajayi went off and just dominated the league. And then the next year when they came back, Gase was insistent, we're doing the inside scheme. And Ajayi was mad, and Ajayi sucked, and then Ajayi went to the Eagles, won a Super Bowl, but broke his leg, and then the rest is history. But I just hate those people that stick to the scheme. I'm not disagreeing with you about Williams in this scheme, and I think with the amount of resources we have, you don't really rock with Williams when you have better options for your scheme. But just an aside about Ajayi, but good point in bringing that up. Greg, what's your thought on the whole Preston Williams thing? And you guys could both weigh in on Ajayi, too.
Preston Williams, if he were to get cut tomorrow, I wouldn't blink an eye.
Greg.
I love Preston Williams. I think he's a talented kid. It's just that I wouldn't be mad if we cut him because he hasn't been able to stay healthy to go on the field and show me how talented he is. I mean, if I would be upset if we release him and he goes to somewhere else and turns into the guy we thought he would be. But yeah, right now, Preston, we have better receivers, I think, anyway, with him gone, with Eazy-E and Wilson and then all the other guys. But yeah,
I like the Eazy-E name, number one.
Yeah.
Greg. I like how you slipped that in there, and I said that, and I think that's a good nickname. And I think we're gonna have to say that from now on this show because
I don't know how to pronounce his full name. That's why I call him that now.
But I just like it. I mean, the fact that you see this is broadcasting 101 here. See, Greg didn't know how to pronounce a name, so he wants to say the player's name, but he can't pronounce it. So he comes up with a dope ass pop culture reference that sounds good and just says, "Yo, we got Eazy-E, we got these other cats, man." I dig that. I dig it, bro. You're learning the tricks of the trade on this show, man. I dig it. I dig it a lot, man.
And with Jay Ajayi too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, with Jay Ajayi, man, he made that year fun for me to watch. He was the best.
How fun was that?
Yeah, it was.
Didn't we make the playoffs?
Jarvis Landry. People underestimate how important Jarvis Landry's run blocking skills were.
Jarvis Landry. There's a name where, you let him go. I get it. Again, oh, he didn't have this or he didn't have that. Bro, he played his ass off for us, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there are some intangibles with certain teams that, whether they fit exactly or not, they just, culturally. But then I guess there were complaints about him culturally, right? Because he would get mad at plays, cost us penalties. But I don't know how much of that is attributable to Gase, not having control of his guys and just having a bad attitude. Jarvis Landry, man, we've had this interesting existence over the last 20 years where we have all these guys that come in and leave Miami, but they leave us with these great memories. And I still dig them as players because they were with us for the time they were with us. And Jarvis Landry, man, that's a hell of a name. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
But no, that year, you see, Ajayi that year, I was so happy he got the ring because I just he made that year for us. But I agree, when it's not schematically fit, but the difference with Ajayi getting traded and Gase being stubborn with his scheme and now is we didn't have anything better than Ajayi at the time. I still remember Gase coming out to the presser after we lose that. He comes out and says, well, it's the players. Players don't want to do stuff. We're going to do it. Fans aren't going to be happy, but some heads are going to roll. Next day, it's the least expected player. It's Jay Ajayi to the Eagles, and you're I hate you, Gase. I hurt you, Gase. It was a bad. It wasn't like he had a guy waiting in the wings who was going to be Preston Williams is at the bottom of the depth chart. I get it. McDaniel don't want to work with him. See you later. Jay Ajayi is we suck, and it's Ajayi's fault. The only guy that made us win last year, I'm getting rid of him. The fans aren't going to be happy, but whatever. Gase, crazy eyes, Gase, you're gone.
Yeah.
I was upset.
Are you watching Hard Knocks, by the way?
I haven't tuned in yet, but I should, bro. Why? You've been watching?
No, because it's going to break my heart every time I watch it because we should add him instead of Adam Gase. Dude, if we had
Why
him instead of Adam,
didn't we, bro?
Because
Huh?
Stephen Ross.
I was just gonna say Stephen Ross. Greg answered for me. He already knew. He's like, because Stephen. We all know why. Because that's his. He's not Stephen Ross's cup of tea. You know. That's why.
and you know what? You know what's the most frustrating thing is? Here's the thing. The guy you made permanent GM was Chris Greer, which at the end of the day, say with me, is a Bill Parcells guy. He
Yes.
came from the Bill Parcells tree. Brian Flores came from the Bill Belichick, which is like a second generation of the Bill Parcells tree.
Bro, that is a great point that no one really. They keep putting Greer with the Patriots, just the organization, but he's a Belichick Patriot guy. He's a Belichick era, not a. I mean, sorry, Parcells era, not a Belichick era. Which Belichick is a Parcells guy too. So it's that whole tree. Good point.
But Dan Campbell was a Parcells guy directly, so I think their philosophies would have matched a lot better than him and Brian Flores.
I could see it. But he didn't see it. So now, what do you think is going to happen to him in Detroit? Because Detroit's just terrible.
Detroit's going to win a Super Bowl with him as head coach.
What?
Yeah, I can see it.
I love him. I'm not.
They're buying in. You got Aiden Hutchinson, who's going to be a freak. Jameson Williams, speed demon. If they get rid of Goff, or maybe if Goff can show something, they can get a quarterback in there. I think the Lions could be Super Bowl contenders.
If
Bro,
they
I
are,
think
man, I will be really depressed. Like that could have been a coach.
That could be the end for Shake. But
Dude, and you know what's funny is when after they fired Gase, he told Mr. Magoo, "You could kick rocks. I don't want your job."
I don't blame that at all. Because Gase is such a goon. Where is Gase? Right? Does anybody know where Gase is? Like,
Fired.
is he just like coaching high school football, hiring guys who do coke right now? Like, what is he doing? But
Well, I don't blame Gase for not working because he has two teams paying his salary.
yeah, so he just kicks it now. Adam,
Yeah.
Crazy Eyes Gase, man. What? Can we just talk about this franchise and the fact that we had a coach snorting coke off a table, and not only snorting coke off a table, but texting a like hooker or a stripper while snorting coke and saying, "I miss you, baby, but I gotta work." And that was the Miami Dolphins thing. Like, why? Like, people don't even talk about that anymore because it's been overshadowed by more craziness. Like, but Dan Campbell's over here just doing work with Detroit, and this is our legacy. Like, what the hell have we've been put through so much crap that if we don't. Like, we deserve Tua to just be like the number 2 quarterback or number 1 quarterback in the league. These receivers to run over everybody. Boyer to just call the most aggressive defense since like the Killer Bees and just destroy everybody. Because we've been through the worst things ever. Like, what did we do to deserve some coach pop? Dude, you like, the Dolphins always give you the weirdest news at the weirdest time. Like, you'd be sitting like, that was like a game week, like in season. And all of a sudden, all my friends are texting me like, "How mad are you, bro? How mad are you?" I'm like, "What?" They're like, Jay Ajayi to the Eagles. I'm like, "Why?" Like, I had to pull over. Then it's like, "Yo, bro, you're stupid. Your team is stupid." I'm like, "What do you mean?" It's like, your team's on CNN. I'm like, CNN. And then it's like the guy snorting coke. And I'm like, why?
Oh, man. Larry, I almost forgot. Remember that same year?
Yeah.
The little linebacker that we got from Pittsburgh Steelers went AWOL?
Yes. Why did he? Yes. Yo, who was that, bro? What was his
I
name?
forgot what his name was, but he was the linebacker for the Steelers.
Was it Timmons, bro? He just
Timmons.
he just showed up, and like we were all like happy and shit, and then like reports are like he wasn't at practice. We're not sure, a personal issue. The next day it's like still not there. It's like the team does not know where he is, and it's like, didn't he say like, "I miss the Steelers, man"? Like, didn't they see him at like a Steelers practice or something like 2 weeks later, or like during this AWOL thing? He like went back to Pittsburgh and was just like wandering around and stuff. Like, why? Like, dude, the Dolphins are not great, but the Dolphins are like middle tier. Like, the worst year we ever had was 07. Like, we even when we suck and we joke that we suck, and Master comes on here and tells us we suck, and everybody tells us even when we suck, we're still like middle of the pack. So why are we the ones with the craziest drama? Like, it's not like you see Detroit, who actually sucks, with this kind of drama. Like, why does the Miami is it Florida? Is it Miami? I don't think so, because Jacksonville, well, then again, Jacksonville had some weird problems this year, so I can't really say that. I mean, only place where Urban Meyer goes and just totally turns into a wacko, but But hey, I don't know. I'm just saying we deserve better, okay?
And one thing about Chris Forrester, now that he's not coaching on Adam Gase, he did well for San Francisco.
Yeah, why? See, that's not fair either. All of a sudden he's doing well for San Francisco. What's going on here? The only thing we didn't have was that guy who tripped the player, the Jets coach. Remember that? He like tripped our return man like on the sideline. That was insane. Like at least we didn't have that. The Jets might have a little more drama than us. Maybe. I don't know. They're just more embarrassing, I guess. It's not the drama. They're just embarrassing overall. So maybe we're lucky we're not the Jets. I don't know. But Bleezy, man, what up? Brandon, what up? If you guys haven't subscribed already, man, smash the subscribe button, smash the like button. Like I said, it's the dog days of summer. We're getting started. So we're working our views up and this and that. And I'm gonna go on a little tour, guys, of like the little shows too and generate stuff too. But we gotta pass 1,000. We gotta do it. The channel needs it. The show needs it. Smash subscribe. Share this with your other Dolphins fans. Share it on your pages. Share it on other shows. Share it on other streams. Get us over 1,000, please. Just, if you haven't, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button if you haven't done that. We're trying to do it. But, guys, verdict. Is Preston Williams going to be a Dolphin by season opener? Yes or no?
No. He's already on the trade block. I think they're going to, let the saying goes, they're going to leave the pot, as you say.
Yeah, I think they're trying to move him because they're going to cut him if not, and that's what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And then what do you think our wideout room looks like? Who do you think survives the cuts? I think Easy E. Who?
That's hard because from what all reports, River Craycraft is tearing it up in training camp.
Bro. Are we going to keep 6? Or are we going to keep 5? Like, I don't know. See, I don't know McDaniel yet. 5 or 6, yeah. I don't know McDaniel's. Like, a lot of coaches with wideouts and linebackers and sometimes defensive backs. Like, it depends how they parse out their special teams. You know what I mean? Like, if they are wideout heavy in their special teams, they'll keep an extra one. If they're not, if they're linebacker heavy, they'll keep more linebackers, et cetera, et cetera. So I guess we'll see what McDaniel ultimately does. He brought in, like, he's bringing in Sanu and stuff. He's bringing these guys in late, leading up to training camp. Is it just bodies? These are like notable guys. He obviously might like a lot of receivers in the room, or maybe he just really wanted to foster competition with guys he was familiar with. I'm intrigued, to find out what he does with this receiver room.
Yeah, me too. I think the first cuts are coming Monday, so we'll see who he cuts.
Is it Monday already, the first cuts? But the first cuts is like what? How many guys? Like it's
three
nothing, right?
4 people, I think.
How many?
Like a handful.
A handful, yeah. The last cut day is the worst. That's where you're like, oh my God, like what's gonna happen? Like this guy I've been rooting for him. Is he gonna be cut? And everybody's like talking shit, like, oh that guy's gone, he's done. That's when Preston might be gone, I think, if they don't trade him. I feel bad, like, because Preston had some memorable plays, but like, I just don't think Preston's really gonna. We got Bleezy saying Braylon Sanders, bro. Anything from Braylon Sanders today? Anybody hear anything from Braylon Sanders today?
Who's that?
No.
I didn't hear anything.
He's one of the wide receivers. I think he's another one that's been showing up in camp.
Bro, these dudes have been balling out. Does that mean that the quarterbacks have been playing good? That would be nice, I heard today that Tua didn't drop any like deep dimes, but Tua did execute the offense very well against Tampa today. I heard that. And I heard the only 2 interceptions were thrown by Teddy Bridgewater. They were not thrown by Tua. So, look, have anybody heard anything negative about Tua this camp so far? Because I haven't.
No, the only thing that people were concerned, that had people frustrated is that they didn't take any deep shots. And they're not really mad at Tua for not taking deep shots. They're more mad at the coaching staff for not allowing Tua to take deep shots. And whether he throws interception or not, whatever, but that's what they want people to see improve. When he was doing my training camp with Miami, they were letting it rip, and now all of a sudden he's not throwing it deep down anymore. So that's, like I said, they're not mad at Tua. They're more mad at the coaching staff for not allowing Tua to let it rip.
That makes sense. So I don't know if that's marketing and propaganda like some people say, or if Tua's just having a good offseason. I'm hoping he's having a good offseason. That'd be great. And so Bleezy tells us that Sanders is an undrafted wideout from Ole Miss. Kid is a beast. And Bleezy, I know you're down in that area, so Bleezy's keeping an eye on him. And that's cool to know.
We're both from the west coast of Florida.
Yeah. Yeah,
Every
West
time I see
Coast.
him, I always say, West Side, Bleezy.
Yeah, that's Bleez, man. But see, the thing with Bleez, he's saying he's grilling wings right now and kicking it, man. Bleezy's always got some good food. Like, you watch Bleezy's YouTube channel, and I encourage everybody to go subscribe to Bleezy if you haven't. Bleezy just either he's breaking down some football talk, but the next day he'll be like grilling a dope ass steak and just showing you how it's done. I love that about Bleez, man. That's why I just follow him. He's out in Fort Myers, bro.
I'm so hungry. I tell you that right now.
He out there just doing his thing, man. But somebody. Oh, does Tua play Saturday? Do we think we see Tua on Saturday?
My thing is, I would like to see him play one quarter. With,
Me too.
With the receivers, because like you said, we have a lot of depth at receivers. So you take out Cedric Wilson, you take out Waddle, and you take out Hill.
Mm-hmm.
But you play from 3 and 4. You want to see which receivers is going to have chemistry, because injuries do happen. So you're going to want to know which receivers have the best chemistry with Tua and will fit
right
what he's looking for.
I agree with that too. I mean, I want to see him. He needs work. I don't want to throw him in there, extended until the third. Have they been doing like the second? Answer me this, guys. Was last year the first year with the 3 preseason games, or has that been a couple years now?
It was
I don't even remember.
It was last year because it came after the CBA because I can tell you right now. And here's one thing. When we switched to 17 games. They took out the preseason, and here's the cool part: is when you get the 7th. Like last year, we had 9 home games and 8 away games. So last year we had 2 away preseason games and 1 home. This year we have 9 away and 8 9 away and 8 home. So now this year we have 2 home preseasons and 1 away preseason.
Hold on, look at it. I just want to shout out Bleezy right now because he's outside and it's beautiful. See, he's on the west coast of Florida, so it's still sunny. Bleezy, bro, what the hell's up, man?
How about that background, baby? How about that background?
We love it, bro.
Yes, sir.
It looks good, man. What's up, Bleez?
Yeah. This is where I grill out, you know what I'm saying? This is where I chill.
Yo, look at them chicken, bro. Look at that.
You know what I'm talking about?
Bleezy out here kicking it, man. See what I mean about Bleezy,
That's how
man?
we do it.
Hell
That's how
yeah.
we do it.
Hell
this
yeah.
This is where all the action comes from, man.
I love it, bro. I love it.
Yeah.
See, I'm glad you put me in a good mood right now just seeing that grill going, bro. I love that shit.
Is it not beautiful, man? My place faces straight west, dude, so I get the
gorgeous.
sunset.
It's
Look at that
gorgeous.
sunset.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's gorgeous.
Look at that.
Look at that.
That's
the
sweet,
palm
huh?
trees, man, that's gorgeous. It really is.
Yes, sir. Grilling
really
wings. Ready for the season, baby. Ready
Hell
for the
yeah.
Dolphins to kick some ass, man. I cannot wait.
Hell
dude.
yeah. Please,
I'm
what's
ready.
your game day routine with that grill and everything in that view? I mean, how does your Sunday go? I want to hear this.
Yeah, you know, I mix it up, man. I've been going to a few games, so I guess it depends on where I'm at. But game day, you know, wings.
Mm-hmm.
Wings cannot be beat. And
Never.
I will throw down some ribs. I will slow cook some ribs. And I'll slow cook some chicken quarters, or chicken breast. Man, I do it all, you know?
I love it, bro. I love the whole
Yeah.
mellow way. I love your whole delivery, too, bro. That's why I watch your channel. I dig it. I dig
Yeah,
it.
bro.
So that's good shit.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that.
Hey.
I appreciate it.
What do you got there, Shake?
It's a ribeye.
Oh.
This is gonna be cooked week 1, baby.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
He's got that in the plastic. Yo, is it Wagyu? What is it? What kind of ribeye cut you got there, Shake?
You got
Please,
something
he's
special.
Yeah, special for game 1 to commemorate game 1.
Oh yeah.
I see it. Paul, what up, man? I see you in the chat, man. What's good? We're out here, man. Fury's out here.
Larry, I'm about to have to drop, man. Much love, man. Love
Yo.
the show. Larry K rocks. Shake you rock.
Thank you, brother.
Craig you rock. I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna take care of these wings, and I'll be listening, man.
All right, Bleezy. Much love, brother. Thanks for hopping on, man.
All right, fellas. Appreciate it.
Later, Bleez.
See you, man.
Later. Yo, see, we got some good people. Like, the thing is, like, you start to see with the content creators, too, like, everybody loves everybody, especially the big channels. But then you see the smaller channels, like you got your peoples that just rock with you. Like, you know what I mean? Bleeze is one of them.
Diehards.
Yeah, you too. Like, we just kind of rock out right here. We're just going to grow this thing, you know what I mean? In addition to all the other awesome content creators out there. And we're going to keep popping on their channels too and rocking with them. But it's just a good community we got, man. I like our little Fury fam. I like what we got going on here with our little, community and what we put out and what we put on, man. It's dope. And good to see you too, Paul, man. I mean, it's great. But so that steak, bro, you throwing that on week 1.
Yeah.
I'm excited, bro. Listen, I'm excited for
Not
this.
grill, but it's an iron skillet. I got a little iron skillet that I.
Bro, let me tell you something. I got an iron skillet on my stove in here because I live so I go home to like my parents' house sometimes, and they got like the out back. We actually trying to get like a TV out there and stuff, but. I go to games when I can. Like the Jets game I'm at every year. I fly down to Miami if I can, a couple games, at least one. And then, I go to different college games and all this. But on Sundays, if I'm in my apartment, I'm grilling on the little stovetop thing. You know what I mean? So I live in a 19th floor apartment high rise in Newark, New Jersey, bro. So I got to use the stovetop. So I ain't knocking that at all. When I can get outside on the grill, I get outside on the grill. But, I'm hyped dude, this is the reason I even wanted to start this show back up, the live show in the off season in August, was to just get us rolling, work out some of the kinks, get, everybody seeing that we're back, because I think this is going to be a game week thing, and I think it'll be a lot more busy. We'll have a lot to talk about. So I'm so hyped, though, for the season, even with the way I figured this platform out, because I still want to do the videos where I'm just like pre-recording and releasing like a analysis, but I also want to be able to punch on live, jump on somebody else's channel or jump on this channel like on a Sunday night or a Monday and just discuss and talk about what's going on. And I think it'll be fun. Play-by-plays I'm not going to do because that's TD's bread and butter, and I'm going to watch him and I'm going to watch the game, and I'm not going to get into a space that TD just like dominates, is like the authority, and I love him. But like after the game or whatever, I want to hop on. Dougie does the play-by-play, you're right. But see, I've always been somebody who watches, I don't know why, I watch TD's live stream and Doug's recaps. I don't know why I do it.
That's me.
Yeah, like, because Doug's recaps, he has the little graphics, and he's like got the, like, he's just patch vibes and all that stuff he's got, and it's just like, and he's got the graphics on the screen. But anyway, my point is, I'm looking forward to the season. You got the steak ready. I got this podcast ready, man. I got this mic ready, because when it hits, we're going to be jumping on to and just discussing things quicker, real time, and just, I can't wait for the buzz, bro, and I hope we're good. I hope we're good, because how fun would it be if the games meant so much? You got that fall air, and you got, like, the crowd going nuts. You got your steaks on the grill. You got you guys sitting here talking, and we're broadcasting live from some of the games. We got our attire on. I want to buy a new shirt. I hope we win a playoff game, because you know my pledge. I'm not buying anything. I'm not buying anything till we win.
Yeah, we don't want to get those comments again. You wearing the same shirt over again? Remember that?
Remember that nonsense? Bro, you always wearing the same shirt. There's other shirts, bro. I'm like, listen, bro. The fact is, I'm wearing this polo shirt until we win a playoff game. But at the same time, bro, I wear this shirt for branding, okay? That's what I try to tell him. He's like, I know about branding, but there's more than one shirt. I was like, bro, you didn't know about branding. People know when they see the glasses and the polo shirt, it's Larry K. Like, that's just me. If I had a different shirt, and I sometimes rock a different shirt. I'm not just stuck in my ways, but it's branding. You see this, like, face, this silhouette, like, even on, like, a promo thing, you're going to know it's me. So I got to revamp. That's what I got to do. I got to take a better picture of, like, the thumbnail. I love the Miami Miracle shot, but it's just generic. I need, like, a picture of my logo or something for the main page, but we'll get that worked out.
Well, the good thing about, like I said, one thing about the Doug videos and you doing those videos is that you could catch them whenever you don't have to catch them live. You could listen to them at your convenience.
Yes.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah, that's why I'm listening.
There's 2 types of live streams. And there's two, and as for instance, some live streams are like microwave hamburgers. They're not as good as when you first live, whatever.
Yes.
But it's still palatable. And there's some live streams that are like microwaving the McDonald's French fries.
Oh God.
Forget about it.
Yo, so bad. And then it just gets some of them get cluttered, and you can't even, like, what am I doing? But I like the videos too. Like, so that's why I'm thinking this is going to be called what we're going to call. I'm going to throw Greg's name in here too, because Greg has been on every show too. So we're going to brand this with, like, the panel and, like, us. And then my show's but just me would still just be Phin-Addict Fury, but it'll all be a part of the channel. So I'm working out those kinks, bro. And anything you guys suggest or want to do, just tell me. Just reach out to me. And anything you guys in the comments want to see, just let me know. But I'm excited about the season, man. And if you haven't smashed the subscribe button, smash the subscribe button. Smash it. Hit like if you haven't done already. We are so damn close, it's a joke. Hit subscribe. Hit subscribe. Guys, because we're on a slower night and we had, we talked what we had to talk about, etc. Unless you guys have anything else you want to bring up or say, I think we could wind this show down. We will be back next week at 7. You know how we do. Anything you guys want to say? Final words or any other topic we didn't hit on?
I got 2 things. Number 1, I might be going to the Baltimore game week 2.
Dope.
Me and my dad might be going. We haven't worked it out yet, but we might.
Bro, nice.
I hope it is. I haven't been to a Dolphin game since I was a little kid when it was in DC.
Yeah.
By the way, if you ever want to go to a game in DC, phenomenal place. The DC fans, incredible, show class. The people down there are great. I enjoyed it. I mean, I was a little kid, and we were losing, and then we got a touchdown, and then Jarvis got the punt return, and then Brett Grimes in a one-handed interception. Great. But 2 things. The other thing I want to get to, I think week 1 we might blow the Patriots out. This is just from what I'm seeing. I saw on SportsCenter in the morning. But the Patriots' offensive struggles are going on, but then they keep talking about, it's going to take them a couple weeks. I think it might be a blowout, but I don't think we're going to be blowing them out first quarter. I think the first half will be close. But
okay,
the Patriots, I respect them, man. I don't.
Of course,
smack or whatnot, but I think it might be a blowout if what I'm hearing keeps going on. But we'll see.
That's interesting. And by the way, DC, man, I love it down there. I go there almost every summer. I was there just a couple weeks ago. I go to visit all the time. Have never been to a game down there, but I will definitely check it out because I love that. I love that whole area, bro. So,
yeah, my dad might be going next time it's in DC as well.
That's dope, bro. If you go and you want to do an exclusive, do a little video and I'll edit it. If you could send me the footage and just put it out on the channel, like Greg, reporting live or some fun thing. Let me know, bro. That'd be a cool feature, man.
Yeah,
that'd be a cool feature. We could even talk to you live or something from down there. I don't know. We could do something with that. So let me know. Keep me update on that. That's fun. Shake, anything else new from you? Any last words?
No, just remember, people, that it's just practice. And I find it interesting that some of the people that say, "Oh man, when Tua messes up, it's just practice, no big deal," but then turn around and say, "You hear Mac Jones is messing up in practice?" Are you saying? Come on now.
Stay consistent, people. Stay consistent. Yeah.
And you gotta remember too, he's learning a new offense just like Tua.
Right.
So
keep it real. Stay consistent. And we will be back with you next week at 7. So I hope to see you there. I'm going to figure out how to pin the link at the top because I couldn't figure it out this time. This way you guys could just hop on, as you go. But I'm looking forward to another panel. I'm looking forward to talking to both of you guys again. Let's do the creative meeting. What I'm thinking is we'll get on here early before I start the stream and just toss ideas around and whatnot. We'll make it a habit 10 minutes before 7.
Or maybe during it doesn't even have to be that. It can be during the week or something that we could do you know what I mean? We could do a live chat on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm down with that too. Whatever works, we could do that too, just to sort it out and get the ideas flowing.
One thing too is I noticed with the other channels, make sure that for instance we're coming on at 7, send out the notification at 6:30 so people could be.
Also a good point. Just put it on a post. Put it on a post on the channel that we're coming on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes
some channels hey. Larry will be on in 30 minutes. So
got you.
On notice,
No, I'll do that too. And I'm trying to get the countdown. I'm trying to work out some kinks, but we'll get there hopefully by the season. But I'll see you.
Of course, your intro music, which is.
Bro, I know. I need that intro music up though, like my pre-recorded videos. I got to figure. I might have to talk to TD, figure out how to do that. But we need that on here. So I'm gonna play around with it a little bit. I got some time off next week from work, from my day job, so I'm going to play around with it a little bit and try to perfect some of those things.
Right,
and
man.
Everybody else, man, we'll see you next week, man.
Peace out.
All right, later, guys. Later, everybody. Peace.